In both freestyle swimming and sports cars, sheer power isn't enough to win. What truly matters is the ability to convert all energy into forward momentum.
Welcome to Ferrari Unpacked, the series that makes innovation simple. Episode 5, Traction Control, Turning Power into Joy. Today we're going to talk about traction, a field of vehicle mechanics which has undergone a revolution in the last 20 years. But what is it composed of? To transfer the power from the engine to the road, it is essential to have good mechanics, starting with the transmission. But the architecture also plays a key role.
In performance-oriented sports cars, this weight subdivision is usually followed. Having more weight where the traction is on the rear axle makes it easier to push the power down, as gravity helps press the tires into the road, increasing grip.
Other factors then come into play, such as the chassis, frame, and suspension. The last step is the tires, which must be of good width for greater grip, without negatively affecting cornering. Things worked this way until the 1980s, when electronics came along and changed our lives. Introduced from a safety standpoint, electronic traction control was originally designed to support the vehicle's mechanical side and help the driver control the vehicle during acceleration. The first rudimentary controls only provided two options at this point: cut the power or break the wheel. These solutions were effective but not satisfactory for an advanced driver. Efforts soon began to understand how to use the system to maximize performance. And while in the motorsport field this experimentation was short-lived, due to rules which limited electronic controls in vehicles, an era of innovation opened up for sports cars.
In the early 2000s, Ferrari began developing the e-diff, bringing a technology first pioneered in Formula One to its sports cars.
The first road-going model this technology was introduced on was the Ferrari F430. The e-diff added electronically controlled clutch to the traditional differential, which allowed the wheels to slip in a controlled manner, managing the amount of torque transmitted according to a series of variables such as steering angle, accelerator position, and yaw value. This freedom of management guarantees, above all when leaving a bend, greater grip without loss of power, as well as intuitive and controllable handling for the driver. The F430 also saw the debut of the Manettino dial, created to control the e-diff amongst other aspects, and which over time would become the control terminal for various vehicle components and control systems, offering extensive driving customization. The introduction of e-diff remained unique in the industry for years, until 2013, when the 458 Speciale was launched. This vehicle saw the debut of the SSC, Side Slip Control. It is an advanced software whose algorithms compare the vehicle's travel angle to the angle of the bend and, in tandem with the e-diff, allow the driver to slip the wheels while retaining total control, increasing both driving performance and enjoyment. Since then, the SSC has continued to evolve, and today the most advanced version is found on the Ferrari Luce.
Oh, I love this!
Now let's return briefly to the other strategy used since the origins of electronic traction control, the brake calipers. In 2018, the 488 Pista was unveiled, the launch model for the FDE, or Ferrari Dynamic Enhancer, a system which manages the pressure applied by the brake calipers.
Together with the SSC, this system can intervene extremely quickly when needed by braking only the wheel that is losing grip, and only for the necessary amount of time. It delivers faster and more precise slip control at the limit.
Finally, we can't ignore the introduction of all-wheel drive on a pilot vehicle, which occurred in 2019 with the SF90 Stradale. Introduced from a performance standpoint, this all-wheel drive system is a brilliant example of ingenuity, featuring a completely electric front axle without mechanical connections to the rear axle and the engine. In this manner, The SF90 Stradale is able to transfer more power to the road, over 1,000 horsepower in this case, and to do so with extremely precise, just-in-time control of the power for each wheel in order to manage all conditions, even the most complicated ones, such as acceleration when exiting a bend. But the Ferrari Luce takes a further step forward. The electric all-wheel drive allows the torque supply to each of the four wheels to be calibrated. This, combined with the active suspension and four-wheel steering, allows the Ferrari Luce to transfer all its power to the ground with unprecedented immediacy.
LH. Careful, careful, careful. Careful, yeah? Whoa! LH! Stop laughing!
The union of mechanics and electronics is born of the constant desire to achieve new standards of perfection, as we will also see in the next episode. Ferrari is a pioneer of cutting-edge technologies and solutions, thanks to the technological expertise developed over more than 90 years in the world of racing.